It just helps a lot, because we are not able to create except in our mind. Unfortunately, those who are real mu'min, they can decide and something happens. Kun fayakun. Yeah, in heaven, where was it that I was talking recently? That some of our ulama say about heaven, يُفَجِّرُونَهَا تَفْجِيرًا, says that in heaven what they do, they decide, I want a spring here. A spring comes. We can do this in our mind only. Yeah? So, there are two types of people. People whose real life is just imagination. People whose imaginations are real life. So we have to move from living in imagination to giving life to imagination. And this is the power of irada. Okay, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from bottom of our heart for all His blessings, especially the blessing of ma'rifah, and in particular to the ma'rifah that inshallah we have received in studying this course. We pray that Allah bless the soul of Allama Tabatabai rahmatullah alayh and all our scholars and teachers who have worked hard so that we can today sit here and in a relaxed and comfortable setting learn these things. May Allah inshallah bless their souls and keep alive those who are alive, and may Allah inshallah till last moment of our life include us among the people who are engaged in learning and teaching, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.